Hi guys, we have a lot to cover in today's video, so I am not going to spend a lot of time here on this intro because in front of me here I have a table filled with all of my top picks from the drugstore. These are all of the products that have been tried and true for me, that I have loved, and I want to pass that knowledge on to you. As we go through these products, I am going to apply them to my face so that you can see them in action. I'm going to dive right in. Here we go. So the first subject that we're going to cover is face primer. You want to prep your face to put the makeup on because if you have a good base on your face, your makeup is going to turn out a lot better and it will stay with you throughout the day a lot longer. I have a couple of items that are my favorite things from the drugstore to use to prime my face with. The very first product that I have to recommend today is this Milani Rose Prep and Brighten Facial Oil. It is a beautiful face oil that smells like roses, like real roses, not the fragrance, and it's just very lightweight. You can kind of see it's not like a thick oil. It's very lightweight and sinks right into the skin very, very nicely and makes my face just feel really moisturized and beautiful. The next item that I have to share for a face primer is this NYX Angel Veil. I typically have some trouble areas with large pores right here and here on my face. So this one is a great pore filler. That is the recommendation I have if you do have some texture or large pores on your face. This one is great. If you're looking for a really cheap alternative, this is going to sound weird, but this one actually works really well. It is the Nivea Men's Post-Shave Balm in Sensitive. You need to make sure to get the sensitive one. But this one acts as like a really nice moisturizer. And it's, let's see if I can dump some out. You can see it's kind of thick, like a moisturizer. But if you, once you start rubbing it into your face, it gets a little bit tacky and it actually acts as a really nice face primer at the same time as moisturizing your face. So those three are great options from the drugstore for a face primer. If you do just want to skip that step, just a regular face moisturizer will do really well as a primer. So to prime my face, I am going to use the Milani Rose Brightening Oil. I just kind of rub it between my fingers and pat it onto my face. Moving right along, we are going to hit foundation. We're going to start with the fullest coverage foundation that from the drugstore, my recommendation. It is this Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. This foundation will give you full coverage, beautiful, flawless skin. It looks perfect. Love this foundation. If you're looking for a great matte foundation, if matte foundation is more your thing, if you have oily to combo skin, then this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation is a beautiful choice. This one is really nice, lightweight texture. It dries down really matte and doesn't feel heavy or cakey on the skin. So this one is awesome. I have two options for a medium coverage foundation. LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation. This can be found at Ulta or anywhere that sells LA Girl. This one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. Both of these are very reasonably priced. Both of them are very nice, natural finish coverage that is not going to look heavy or cakey. They're a medium coverage, very, very comfortable to wear. The next foundation that I have to talk about is by the brand Boots No. 7. It is the Airbrush Away Tinted Skin Perfector. This one is kind of like a hybrid of a pore filling primer and a tinted skin moisturizer. This one is the lightest coverage of the three. This one just kind of glosses over your face and just evens out your skin tone. But if you have freckles or moles or anything like that, it will peek through this foundation. So this one more just evens out the tone of your skin, which can be absolutely beautiful for an everyday foundation. I really love this one just to kind of even things out, make it look like your skin is perfect. The other option for a lightweight skin perfecting type foundation, if you're not into a liquid foundation, Then these ones by Maybelline, it's called the Maybelline Better Skin Powders. These are awesome, and quite often I end up just using these as a foundation. If I just want kind of a light makeup day, just to kind of even things out, I'll dust this over my face. So this is what those look like on the inside. Your little pan of powder is here, which is a beautifully finely milled powder, and it comes with a little makeup sponge and a mirror down here on the bottom. I'm going to zoom you in to apply my foundation so you can really see the difference and texture up close of what these foundations are performing like. I don't know if you can tell, but I do have pretty large pores right in this area on my cheeks. So I am going to start with that number 7 Airbrush Away foundation and just put a little bit right on my cheeks. And just to kind of fill in those pores before I go in with my other foundation. And I just kind of want to press that into my pores, and it just blends them right away. Next, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. So it comes with a little applicator like this. I'm going to just go ahead and dot that all over my face. And then tap that in to blend it out. Always make sure to blend down the neck too, to diffuse that line of makeup that nobody wants. Alright, so this is the coverage. You can see there's still some of my hyperpigmentation showing through, so it's not a full coverage foundation, but it really does a nice job of evening out the skin tone. Okay, the next thing we're going to move on to is concealers. My favorite concealers from the drugstore for the last several years have been the Maybelline Fit Me concealers. You can see how banged up mine all are, but this is what they look like. I have a whole range of color options, but these concealers are just so nice and creamy. Comes with a little wand. They just have a really nice creamy formula that blends out really beautifully. They're very comfortable on the skin, they never crease on me, and they stay all day. So I really love these Maybelline Fit Me concealers. I just recently started trying this Milani, what's it called? This Milani Retouch and Erase concealer. I really am not actually a fan of the applicator tip. It's kind of like a sponge applicator, and God, that just grosses me out that all this old product is stuck on the tip. So I don't really like the tip, but the formula itself isn't bad. It's a nice creamy formula. It's a little more pasty than the Maybelline Fit Me, but it does have a little bit better coverage. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Light and put that right under my eyes. And I usually go under my eyes like this, down onto my cheeks just a bit. I run a little down my nose, some right here and some right here, just to brighten up some of those high points in my face. And then take a blending sponge and just kind of bounce that to press it in and blend that all out. Alright, so after you've put all of these wet ingredients on your face, you don't want them to smear around or look shiny. So the next thing that you need to do is apply a setting powder. I have a grand prize winner for the setting powder, which is this Coty Air Spun powder. I know you all have seen this at the drugstore. It's been there since like 1800. And it smells like it's been there since 1800. It smells like your grandmother. However, this is the most beautiful setting powder I've ever tried. I love this setting powder, and I'm so happy that it is a drugstore option. So the first thing that I would do with a setting powder like this is take a little brush, tap it off, and then dab that under my eyes so that I'm not going to get any creasing under here from that concealer that I just laid down. And I'm just going to set the places where I put my concealer. The other two options that I have for setting powders from the drugstore that I love is this one right here, the CoverGirl Advanced Radiance Pressed Powder. It looks like this in the pan. It is a beautiful brightening powder for your under eyes. Brightens everything up here. The other one I have to show you is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. This is one that I will actually throw in my purse and bring with me throughout the day, and just take some with a sponge and apply it to the places on my face that get greasy throughout the day or start to get a little bit shiny. So I'll usually just pat some right here, maybe some here, maybe some on my chin or my nose, depending on where it's looking greasy. But this one is also a beautiful, just mattifying, very translucent powder. So now that we have our base on and everything is set down, I'm going to move on to my eyebrows. Now, if you are a brow person, then this is my favorite product at the drugstore for brows. It is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. On this end, it has your brow product, a fine tip little pencil. And then on this end, there is a spoolie. So you can brush through your brows, put them exactly where you want to be, and then go in with the fine tip. And as you can see on my brows, the tail is kind of where I have the least amount, so I mostly just go in and fill in the tail area, and then I just run it along the whole brow just to kind of blend the color together. Once I'm done filling that in, I just brush through it one more time with the spoolie to kind of blend everything together, and that is how I do my brows. Now, if you are somebody who has sparse brows or not quite enough and you're looking to add a little bit of extra oomph to them, then this product, also from L'Oreal, is a beautiful one. This is called the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. And this is almost like a mascara for your brows. It has little fibers in this wand. There's a little wand that you can just kind of comb through your brows to give them a little extra volume. So I'll show you how that works. I kind of push my brows back like this as I'm putting it in, just to get it on those hairs underneath. And then you can go back through again and kind of comb it back to how you want it to lay. So if you can see the difference between this brow and this brow, this one just is a little extra beefy. Next up is contour. I honestly have not found that many great contouring products at the drugstore. The only one that I've been mildly impressed with is this one right here from L'Oreal Infallible. It is their contour palette. And it comes with this contour shade and a highlight shade. I honestly never use this one, but you could use that as an under eye setting powder as well. I'm going to take a kind of thin brush like this and dab it into that contour shade. And then I'm going to place that brush right underneath my cheekbone right here. And this is kind of creating a shadow that makes your cheekbone stand out. Just gives your face a little extra shape. So if you can see the difference between this cheek and this cheek, it just really accents your cheekbone. All right, I'm not gonna go crazy with the contour. That's all we're gonna do for today. So we're gonna move on to bronzer. I've not been that impressed with very many drugstore bronzers. However, there are a few that I have to recommend. The first bronzers that I were ever using were these Physicians Formula Bronze Booster is the original, and then Butter Bronzer is their newer version. Now, I think the color of these bronzers are really nice. However, they are so subtle that it takes forever to build them up on my skin. And these both are in the darkest shades that they offer, so their shade range isn't that great in my opinion either. However, these are really beautiful bronzers, also are very expensive. They're $13 to $14 at the drugstore, which is, in my opinion, pretty expensive for an okay bronzer. I have been playing with this Boots No. 7 bronzer as well, which I love the texture of. It's very soft, diffused really well, and looked really nice on the skin. However, I did just find one, and this hardly counts, except that it does. About 2 weeks ago, I went to Ulta and I found this Morphe bronzer. It's called their Brontour Bronzer and Contour Palette. Now this is $12, so it is about the same that you're gonna pay for one of the Physicians Formula ones. And this one, hands down, beats out the Physicians Formula bronzer in my opinion. It comes like this. So it comes with this lighter shade that has just a little bit of satin finish to it, and then a matte bronzer shade. So what I've been doing is taking my brush and swirling it through both, and it looks beautiful. So I'm just gonna take my brush and swirl it through both shades there and just hit my cheeks right on my cheekbone with the bronzer. Yes. I usually hit just at the very corners of my forehead as well. But isn't that just a beautiful color? So I absolutely love this Morphe Bronzer, and I got the shade Celebutante. Go pick this up at an Ulta if you want a good bronzer, $12. Moving right along, we are gonna hit blushes. So there are a few. My very favorite blush at the drugstore is this Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso, because it has just the slightest sheen to it. But it is nice light pinky peach blush that looks good on just about everyone. If you want a little bit of a bronzier, glowier brush, then this one by Milani in Rose d'Oro is also a beautiful option. You can see the gold swirling in there. So this one leaves a little bit more of a sheen to it. But it's almost like a bronzer and a blush combined into one. The other blushes I really enjoy are these Flower Pot ones from Flower Beauty. I have it in the shade Sweet Pea. This one is in the shade Sweet Pea, and this one is in the shade Warm Hibiscus. So the Sweet Pea one is this beautiful pinky mauve that would look great as a just natural flush blush. And this one is in the shade Warm Hibiscus, which has a little bit of a sheen to it, similar to that Luminoso, which is also a beautiful blush. Now, if you're just looking for a cheap blush that still is going to give you great color payoff, then these ones by Wet n Wild are wonderful. They're called the Color Icon blushes. This one is Pearlescent Pink, and this one is Apricot in the middle. Both of these are extremely pigmented though, so you have to be really careful with them. One little swipe is going to go a long way. So these blushes are gonna give you great payoff. You just need to express caution when you use them. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Milani Luminoso so that you guys can all see the magic of this blush. So as you can see, it just added this beautiful light pink natural glow to the skin, and you can see that there is just this little bit of a sheen shift when you move your face around, which just adds to that highlight on your cheek, which is so gorgeous. So I love that blush. All right, now let's talk about highlighters. I actually have some great options for highlighters, which in the last year, the drugstore has been killing it with highlighters. So I'm gonna start with the cheapest ones first. These ones right here from e.l.f. Now this one is called Moonlit Pearls, and this one was a little bit of a journey. When you first get it, you have to like literally scrape off the top layer or you're not gonna get anything. But now that I've scraped that off, it's this gorgeous, gorgeous like pearly, champagne-y highlight. So these ones are only a couple bucks. That one is actually labeled as a highlight. Now this one you're gonna find in the blush section. It's called a blush in Pinktastic is the name. And this one has just a little bit more of a pink sheen to it than that Moonlit Pearls. So I'm gonna put it right next door. You can see this one is Pinktastic and this one is Moonlit Pearls. You've got two great options right here from e.l.f. Wet n Wild is doing awesome in the highlight department. They have this line of highlighting powders called their Mega Glow Highlights. This one is in the shade Precious Petals, and it's kind of a rose gold toned, champagne-y highlight. I'm gonna put that one right here. So you can see that one has a really nice shift to it. If you're looking for a out of this world crazy highlight, then Maybelline Master Chrome highlighters. These ones are no joke. You can see in the pan that it is like molten gold right there, but these are very soft, very pigmented, and that's gonna like give you some vavoom. These ones are crazy bright and shiny. And I know that Master Chrome has several different colors now. I have the one in molten gold, but they also have a rose gold one, they have a white one, they have holographic ones, they have all sorts of crazy new colors of this. So these ones are awesome if you really want your highlight to show. Now we get to my favorite highlights at the drugstore, which are by Essence. It's called their Pure Nude Highlighter. I love this one because it is the perfect shade for my skin tone. And it is also the perfect deposit of highlight. It's not too crazy for an everyday highlight and just gives your cheekbones the most beautiful little sheen without being obvious that you're wearing a highlight. It just looks more like you have amazing skin. I do want to quickly show you, they just came out with a new one this year called their Sunlighter. The original is just called the Pure Nude Highlighter. This one is called Sunlighter. So this one has a little bit of a bronzier tone. So this would be good for deeper skin tones or if you just like a more golden highlight. But we're gonna go in with my Pure Nude Original Highlighter. And I'm just going to hit that right on the tops of my cheekbones. A little bit on the tip of my nose, a little bit right here on the bridge of my nose. Right here above my lip. Do you see what that highlighter is doing to my face? It's just making it a little bit more multi-dimensional. Usually after I apply my highlighter in these areas, then I just take a buffing brush like this and just kind of run it over all those spots just to blend everything in so it doesn't look crazy, and you know, no one wants to look crazy. So this is why I love this highlighter. It just gives your skin this natural glow that makes it look like you have really healthy skin without being like, boom, she's wearing a highlighter. You know what I mean? So we're gonna move on from highlighters because I feel like I've been talking about them for 800 years. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna move on to eyes. Start with a primer. You're gonna get so much more longer wear from your eyeshadow if you use a primer first, and your colors are going to pop more. Like the color will just be more vibrant if you use a primer first. Now my favorite primer from the drugstore I actually am out of right now, but it is just the Milani eye primer. Now if you really just do not want to buy an eyeshadow primer, you can absolutely use a concealer. You could go in with, you know, any of these concealers, just dot a little bit on your eyelid first and rub that all in, and that will help your eyeshadow to stick as well and kind of even out your eyelid skin before you go in with your shadow. All right, talking about eyeshadows, I have some great options from the drugstore. The best eyeshadows, in my humble opinion, from the drugstore are these ones from L'Oreal. I have the entire shade range. I think I have every single shade, but it's these L'Oreal Infallible Shadow Pots, and they look like a little pot like this. It has a screw cover. It says the name here. This one is Amber Rush, one of my favorites. When you open it up, there's a little presser thing that you don't want to throw away. Keep this because these are pressed shadows. It's not like a typical eyeshadow palette. This is actual powder that like comes apart, but look at how these swatch. These are the most pigmented eyeshadow. It's like a pigment. It's like a pressed pigment. But look at this. Do you see that? I'll show you some of my favorites. Iced Latte. This one in Eternal Sunshine. It's not a real deep gold, but it's a really pretty light gold. This one here in Bronzed Taupe. If you're more into a bronzy type color, then that one in Bronze Taupe is gorgeous. And they just have a bunch of beautiful colors. There's this deep purple one called Smoldering Plum. There's this midnight blue one called Midnight Blue. There's Endless Sea, a beautiful turquoise. This one I absolutely love during the holidays because it's like a deep emerald green, but it has golden reflex in it. So it's just gorgeous. Can you see that? That was a really awkward place to swatch, but do you see? It's like this nice green, but it has golden reflex in it. So pretty. And that one's called Golden Emerald. Next up, for a really cheap option that are really great, are these Maybelline mini singles. They're the Expert Wear. These are my two favorite shades. This one is in the shade The Glow Down, and it is a nice golden color. Another pretty golden one. And then this one is in the shade Nude Glow, and this one is like a rose gold champagne color. So those are the two colors right there. These are both beautiful everyday wear colors, and I think these run $2 to $3 a piece. So really good deal on those. I have a couple of options for palettes. I really do enjoy some of these Maybelline City Mini palettes. These are the two that I have. This is Downtown Sunrise. This one is Rooftop Bronzes. They are really nicely pigmented. The other drugstore palettes that I really enjoy are these ones by CoverGirl. It's called their True Naked palettes. This one is in goldens, this one's in nudes. These are the two that I currently have, but they have come out with some new color schemes this year that are nice. This one's just a really beautiful neutral palette. It has some of these darker shades to do a smoky eye, or all of these nice lighter ones to do a more natural everyday eye. There's a good mixture of shimmers and mattes in this palette. So these ones are a great option from CoverGirl. Okay, and the last option I have for eyeshadows are more of a cream base, and you just want to slap something on your eye quick and run out the door. Then oftentimes these are the ones that are going to treat you right. Or if you're going to go to the beach or out on the boat all day, or you're on vacation, these are the shadows you're going to want to reach for. The first thing I have to recommend are these Maybelline color tattoos. They come in a little pot like this, and it is a cream-based shadow, as I said. You can see what a beautiful, nice reflect they have. But these ones are designed to go on cream, and then they dry down, and they're waterproof. They're not going to go anywhere. These stay on through anything. There's another product that is extremely similar to those that Revlon makes called the Revlon Color Stay. It's these ones. I've got 3 shades to show you. But these are the same style. Pot cream shadows. They stay on forever through everything. They're waterproof. Alright, so to do my eyes, I'm going to pick up this Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Barely Branded, that light, pretty color. And I'm just going to put some on my finger and just kind of pat that on the eye so that you can see how nice and reflective these can be. So you could completely just do that and stop there and be out the door. So that's why I said these ones are so nice as a quick slap it on and go. But I'm going to show you some of the powder shadows too, so that you can see some of the options. Also, I should mention, these make a great primer. I didn't even go in with a primer today because I knew I would be putting this on. This will definitely help my powder shadows to stick to my eyes, so I just skipped the primer altogether. I think I'm going to grab this L'Oreal Shadow Pot in Bronzed Taupe first. I'm going to take a little short bristled brush like this and pick up some of that product and just start to stamp it on the corner, outer corner of my eye right here, and then slowly blend it. Okay, then I'm going to take the shade Amber Rush and just put some of that on my finger, and starting at the inner corner, and just going to kind of press that down onto the lid. You see how beautifully reflective that is? I like that. I think I'm going to take this darkest color here from Goldens palette and put that right over the top of where I had laid that bronze taupe. Next, I am going to go in with some liner. This is my favorite liner from the drugstore. It is the L'Oreal Infallible Lacquer Liner. This stuff is awesome. It doesn't go anywhere once it dries down. It stays all freaking day. Okay, now for mascara. My two top recommendations from the drugstore are both from L'Oreal. It is their L'Oreal Original Voluminous in Carbon Black. This new one that they launched last year, I believe, is their Lash Paradise. This one will give you beautiful, thick, luscious lashes, longer, plumping, gorgeous lashes. This one's going to be more of your everyday. If you just want a little something there, this is the one that you're going to want. But if you want those dramatic lashes and really thickening and plumping and lengthening and everything, then this is the one that you're going to want. So I'm going to go in with some of this. So you can see what a nice job that did of really giving me some length and volume. I should not have done that on my lower lashes. I was going to go in with a little bit of color. I still want to go in and add just a little bit of that brown shadow down here on my lower lashes, and typically I would do that before I put mascara on my lower lashes, but we're going to work with what we have today. So I'm going to take some of that dark shade again, tap off my brush, and just run that under the lower lashes. And I'm going to mainly just keep that on the outer corner of my eye. But I think running a little bit of your eyeshadow that you have going on the top onto your lower lashes can really bring a look together. Alright guys, to finish off this look, we are going to go in with our lipstick. My absolute favorite lipstick from the drugstore are these ones by L'Oreal. It is called their Color Riche Shine lipsticks, and they have absolutely beautiful packaging. My favorite color is the shade 900 Glossy Fawn. It is just the perfect nude shade. So of course I'm going to put that straight on my lips so that you can see what that looks like. Another favorite is in 910 Shining Peach. This is one that I'll probably use more during the winter when my skin tone is a little bit lighter, but it's got just a bit more of a pink undertone, whereas Glossy Fawn has just a little bit more of a brown undertone. So oftentimes what I do at this point is I put on some of my Glossy Fawn, and then I will top it with some Shining Peach. And it gives just this beautiful peachy pink color that is so shiny and hydrating. It feels like you're wearing a really creamy chapstick. It has this kind of vanilla frosting type scent to it. It has a beautiful scent. It's so comfortable to wear. It's got a nice shine to it, so it almost looks like you're wearing a lip gloss as well. It's kind of a hybrid lipstick lip gloss product. So I absolutely love these. I do also have 1,000,001 shades from the Maybelline Color Sensational line. My favorite shade from that line is 920 Nude Lust. So that's Nude Lust. It's also kind of a sheer nude color that is really glossy. So it comes off as kind of a hybrid between a gloss and a lipstick. So that one is beautiful. If you're really just not a lipstick person and you want a great recommendation for maybe a tinted chapstick type product, then look no further than these Pacifica lip quenches. They have several different color tints and scents. The one that I have is Coconut Nectar. And the beautiful thing about these is that it really is designed as a quenching chapstick, but they come in these gorgeous kind of semi-sheeny metallic shades. So this is the one that I have, where it gives your lips just the most beautiful kind of sheen to them and a little tint of color, but they also are a chapstick at the same time. They have these at Target and at Ulta for $5. They are beautiful, and if I could only have one lip product for the rest of my life, it would be this one right here. I'm actually just gonna try that one on so you guys can see what it looks like on the lips. All right, so I removed my other lipstick. We're gonna go ahead and try this one on. So you can see it just gives this beautiful sheen to the lips, but it's still very natural, and it's a chapstick. So I love the Pacifica Color Quenches. Go check those out. All right, guys, the last thing that I have to share with you is after you have spent all of this time prepping your beautiful face, you don't want that masterpiece to go anywhere, so you are going to use a setting spray. This one from Milani, it's called the Milani Make It Last setting spray. This is a matte setting spray, so it's not going to give your skin any extra dewiness. They also have one called Make It Dewy. So what you're going to do is just take this and spray it all over the perimeter of your face. Let it sit for a minute and dry, and then everything is going to be locked into place for the rest of the day. It's basically like a hairspray for your makeup. All right, guys, that wraps up this video. I know it was super duper long. I hope that this video is helpful to you and that you found some good product tips and that you go try stuff. If you do try stuff, I would love to know about it. If you have any questions about additional products that I didn't mention here, or a product that you love that you think I should know about, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. I would love to answer any questions you have. And I hope that you guys have a great time shopping. Bye. I know that some people can be intimidated by... Where are you, Milani? Okay. Yum. And then they just Maybelline. Where is my face spray? Pillow stained. You can't stain your face, huh? I don't have my Pure Nude. Where's my Pure Nude? Best smelling, scented, flavored. Why can't I speak today? This video is gonna be a million years long. But this one, shoot. And I got the shade Celebrity Plus Debutante. So Celebutante.